Tonight, hey, brother, can you...
You are listening to the Doug Stanhope Podcast.
The potato peelings in the sink did not turn into vodka as I had hoped. I only start to need a drink after the liquor stores have closed. I heard you changed your name again, but don't you change your hair. It was the only thing I liked about you in the end. La la la.
You know why it's great that we have no official sponsorship is because I am in retirement. So doing this podcast would prove that I'm not actually retired. So this is the Doug Stanhope Podcast from retirement.
Feels good,
It's
right?
the Friars. No, I can't.
Sponsored by nobody.
Still sponsored by nobody, because if I was actually getting paid for this, I wouldn't be retired.
You couldn't be.
No, I'd be full of shit. I'll come out of retirement soon. I'll panic.
I hope so.
But yeah, after New Zealand, which was fantastic. Thank you, New Zealand. It was a lovely time. You were very polite folk. And we had a nice time. And that was my last gig. And after that, I purposely had no professional or social obligations so I could pretend to be retired. I've done this before.
It's not a snafu on the website under the tour dates link.
Yeah, where it says
Tour
none.
dates.
None. There's a new website, and it's got merch because that's Chaley took it over. I hadn't even looked at my website, as you can tell by my lack of updates. I'll update it, but it'll be for fun. I don't get paid for that or the podcast.
Dude,
So,
that
yeah.
just proves you're retired. Now you're like the Rolling Stones. You're not on tour, but you have tons of merch for sale.
I'm going to dabble. I'm going to dabble in stuff. Chaley's got the merch going because we got T-shirts and shit. We got a fucking bunch of T-shirts because I didn't bring anything to Australia and New Zealand. We had a lot of merch, and I'm like, I'm going to fucking hump this around another country, and then they're going to finger fuck you about, like, well, you're going to pay taxes up front. I've had that in Canada. Well,
Tariffs.
Yeah. Well, we count up your merch, and then we make you pay taxes, and then you get it back when you leave. And so, yeah, I don't bring merch out of the country.
You just brought bingo.
Brought bingo. Very little problem. Generally, she's a problem at Borders. This time, she saved me. I think we probably already talked about this. We have our podcast, if you don't know, is a bit disjointed, and sometimes, yeah, it goes way out of order. So we already aired one Australia podcast, but we have a second one that needs a lot of editing to get some of the shit that happened in the show edited into the podcast. And
We need to get it first. Your Alex still has it because he's busy. He's
busy. Everyone's busy. It'll come out.
Well, it's summer down there.
It's
so they're
not
doing
fucking
shit.
dated. It's not like I'm talking about the fucking Angelina Jolie Sony Gate. Someone called her a fucking mediocre talent. We're not talking
spoiled
about
brat.
this. Yes. So yeah, it'll come out. Gene Connors, our councilman, who's fucking hilarious. Yeah, that'll come out. We got some in the can. There's one that will not come out probably, with Whiskey Girl's sister, because I was way hungover, and Bingo was so fucked that she didn't say 2 words. And then, yeah, it just, I don't think it worked, and I don't want to listen to it, so I'm going to go with my gut. Lindy kept saying, hey, can you cut that part out? I don't think I should have said that thing. So you know what? Let's just fucking make it a wash, and next time she visits, we'll talk again.
See, that's a part that I can cut out because that's superfluous to this podcast.
Yeah. Here's other podcasts you'll never hear. The first one we did with Brett Erickson. You'll never hear that. 7 people fucked up talking over each other.
This one's just going to be 4 people fucked up talking over each other.
Yeah, I'm not quite fucked up yet. We just went to sushi, 12 of us. We got 12 people to actually get together and go to a different town, and it worked. That was...
you know what I was impressed with was you said, meet here at noon, and we're leaving at 12:30, and no one pushed the 12... Well, they're not leaving until 12:30, so everyone was here and ready to go.
Yeah. It was very nice. So like it was the company Christmas party is what it was.
That's what it turned into.
It was very nice. I like when that Asian waitress, we were trying to take a picture. Chaley's trying to take pictures as he always does. She goes, "Can I take a picture of the whole table?" We're like, "Yeah." And I'm glad she snapped the picture as I had the tab and credit card in my hand, just to rub it in your faces later.
You didn't tell me there was 12 people, but I'm glad I stayed home.
Yeah, Joby was the 12. Well, we saw Shawnee on the way over there. We were behind him. So when we got to the 2-lane, we pulled up beside him. He thought we were cops. They're both the kind of cars cops drive around here.
Well, yeah, that was weird because we left in 2 vehicles and we arrived in 3.
Yeah,
So-
and then we called Joby. So, retirement. Speaking of the first social obligation that I...
Hold on a second. You haven't introduced the podcast yet.
Oh, shit.
So just start it clean.
Well, I did. I said this is the Doug Stanhope Retirement Podcast.
But you didn't introduce who's
I
talking.
haven't introduced Chad Shank that everybody knows and Brett Erickson who everyone will know. We have a fucking house full. Yeah, no, I did introduce the thing. And we have Brett Erickson. When I said we have a house full, I meant that there's a lot of people staying here.
That's when I thought. Well, that's when
I'm
hoped
not
that the crowd would burst into spontaneous.
Erickson's an old radio guy.
Yeah.
And he's used to having
I
someone
mean, if
go,
they're in the
"Everyone,"
room, they've got to have a cue. Right?
motion you with
Don't
the hands
miss your
up, make
fucking
noise.
cue.
Yeah, no, we don't want them talking at all. But yeah, I mean, we have people staying in the rape trailer. It feels like the holidays.
It is. Christmas party,
Yeah.
full house.
Company Christmas party, nowhere to go. The first thing I did after I just did my annual crazy flight at the end of the year to get diamond status on Delta. I only had to do a short one.
You had to, how many miles did you have to get?
I needed 15,000, so I did Tucson, Boston, Honolulu,
Salt Lake.
Salt Lake and Atlanta as stops, and that was that. So now the first thing I did when I got back this morning was get on Expedia to see where else I can go, even though I don't need the miles. It was fucking cold today, and it's just the beginning of winter, and I don't. Yeah, like I could take a cruise,
But it was
I could
very
do
warm
something.
yesterday. It was cloudy
Where do you
today.
snowbird from Southern Arizona, too? I don't even know how that works. Isn't
Well,
this where
fucking-
people go?
There's
when
only
it's
3
cold?
more miles southerner than here, so
But in one day, I have a lot of shit on my list of things. You saw my list of things to do
yeah.
in my retirement before I panic and start booking dates. And a lot of them rehab, like my own personal rehab. Quit smoking.
Not from drugs and alcohol, but
Yeah,
from things you need to be
just
rehabilitated.
lighten up on
The
the
unhealthy
alcohol.
one.
Right.
Yeah, and I need 30 days somewhere. Like Costa Rica would be perfect, except like I could exercise there. I could boogie board and get a tan. Like, that's the only exercise I can really do with fucking hernias and stuff.
As long as the Earth's tides are doing most of the work, I can do that exercise.
Well, that for me, that's exercise. When I get off a plane and I have to hump to a different terminal, I feel like that's exercise. I got a backpack on, man. That's because it weighs at least 11 pounds, and I'm gonna walk really fast on that walking escalator.
Oh, so you don't? You still
wrong way.
take it? You still take the escalator?
Yeah,
You don't opt for like this carpet?
But I walk really fast on it. I walk faster than all you motherfuckers. I had to walk slow today at the farmer's market so you could keep up, and I still had to ditch you.
Well, that's just because we were actually interested in purchasing some of the items at the farmer's market instead of just making the fastest circle in the history of human circles.
Well, that's because
you get your pulled pork and then beat it the fuck out of
You've only been here for a month. I have been here for 10 years almost. So I go to the farmer's market and there's 3 booths before I see someone I don't want to talk to at 10:30 in the morning. So I grab a pulled pork sandwich and beat feet back to the house.
That's better than Derek. When I asked him if he wanted to come to the farmer's market, he said, I can't because I'll see 3 of my girlfriends down there.
Oh my God. Did he say that? Did he say that? Girlfriends?
Ex-girlfriends.
Oh, jeez. Oh, Derek, he's here. I'm in the room.
Sorry to make it awkward.
So, yeah, Costa Rica would be good.
By the way, there weren't even 3 women down at the farmer's market. Just to finish this part of the story.
I hate to tell you, 2 of those were women. You're new to business.
Either Derek has a history with Margaret, the olive lady, or Derek and John, the goat cheese guy, have something they need to confess. That's all I'm saying. It's a small farmer's market. It's very small.
It's legal here.
So Costa Rica, I thought, yeah, you could be active, be in the sun, read books, but the quit smoking part, it's $1.75 a pack for cigarettes, and all you're going to want to do at night is drink. So I'm looking for suggestions on if you had to go somewhere. I can quit smoking if I don't have cigarettes.
I thought you said it was expensive in Australia.
So you need a place.
You have to have no access to cigarettes.
You need a place that's perfectly boring.
You need your own island.
Yeah, I want to read, but I don't want to get fucking fat. Like at the last time I quit smoking for a year, the year mother died, like 07 or 08. I should remember.
Don't worry, she won't.
Was my point?
I got fat.
I quit and I had no idea I got fat because I just in the winter when I take the winters off, I just wear pajamas. So I had no idea that I was getting fat because I don't have mirrors in my house for a reason. And then when I had to go back on the road, none of my pants fit. I wore overalls to that gig in Indianapolis. I wore overalls. I thought it was funny. Hennigan
the country
says, "Don't
version
ever do
of your
that
act
again."
would be fucking hilarious, by the way. Shit.
So I've thought, what if I like a Greyhound bus? Like just spend fucking a month on a Greyhound bus. Amtrak is always good because, but there's no way to exercise like naturally. I'm never gonna do squats and fucking leg lifts. But there's no
You're not
activity.
Gonna do 50 squats in the aisle on the Amtrak car.
There's no activities to do on an Amtrak, but it would be a great place to quit smoking because no one's smoking around you. You don't have access. A fucking mountain cabin, but I don't know. An island in Fiji.
Somewhere where there's no tobacco.
Yeah.
Or access to.
Right, but you can be active. So yeah. So tweet me that.
So
tweet me your idea.
someplace where you have to run uphill to a place where there's no tobacco.
Right.
What resort is below a place where there's no tobacco? That's the place you need to book.
He didn't say it had to be a resort. I was thinking about locking him in my barn with a treadmill.
Jet ski theory.
Dangling the
I
pack.
want a cigarette. Fuck
dangling the pack in front of him as he runs.
Jet ski theory. Probably talked about it before.
Jet ski theory?
Yes. I spent 2 hours on a jet ski once up in Lake, what's the one? Powell. Never wanted a cigarette the whole time. And I, like, when you cling with your, it's like a thigh master.
As long as you're on a jet ski, you don't.
There's a theory there. If you're doing stuff that doesn't make you want to smoke,
Right.
at no point when I was zipping around, jumping over waves like an idiot, did I feel like I needed a cigarette or a drink or anything.
Your hands were full.
When I ride my motorcycle, I don't think I'm crazy. The whole time. So, yeah.
That's clear
It's the
jet ski
same
theory
thing.
right
It's a-
there.
it's
That's
not-
jet ski theory.
He's not kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believed him. Don't worry.
There's got to be someone you want to kill on the road, though. I guess that's just
He
natural.
did say Chad did say he had road rage on the way over here today.
I have to.
Hold on.
Cruise ship. Hang on, while you're exhaling your marijuana cigarettes, sir. A cruise ship, I thought would be good because there's pools. There's no one you want to drink with. They're all old fucks, so you don't want to socialize. They overprice their cocktails and don't let you smuggle them in.
It's free.
It's not
Cruise ships. Everything's gratis.
there's not all inclusive booze cruises. I'm sure there are, but generally a cruise.
There's probably a Stanhope clause in that.
No, they don't.
They're not going to let.
They
Louis
search your
Anderson
bags
have the
for alcohol.
buffet all the fucking for free.
If you go online, you see all the different ways people smuggle alcohol on a cruise ship. So no, it's.
But I thought it was because they just didn't want to. You can't buy a bottle for your room.
I thought it was to disinfect so you didn't get all sorts of horrible diseases.
Well, okay, go ahead.
The problem is if you go, this cruise ship sucks, you're still on a cruise ship. If everything else sucks, you want to leave. We thought about it. Like, all right, if they make all these stops, like I want to go to that Maho Beach. Look it up. Maho Beach is St. Martin, the Netherlands version, and they have the end of the runway is right where the beach is. So 747s are like looking like they're gonna hit your head.
There's a YouTube clip of that, right?
Oh, there's many YouTube clips
where like towels go flying out into the ocean, like where they're landing in the jet wash.
Yeah, but unfortunately, fucking Delta, my airline of choice, and United, you can't get there from Tucson. You have to overnight at one of their hubs. There's no flight that will get you there the same day. It's the fucking Caribbean. It's not that far. As the crow flies, it's a 5-hour flight. On Delta, it's 19 to 22 hours through Atlanta, JFK, then there. 19
This is
hours.
bullshit.
Yeah. I say it's bullshit.
You can't get to the Caribbean in one flight from fucking Tucson.
I feel like Doug's becoming unrelatable to the rest of us.
I don't think he's feeling it anymore. You can't get there in a day? Outrageous.
I have to stay in a hotel that's being provided to me? And then what? A free breakfast? Fuck you.
No,
Fuck
it's
you.
not provided to you. You have to fucking go to JFK and then spend 16 hours there till the morning flight to fucking Maho Beach.
Oh, New York. Yeah, I'm with you then. Yeah.
You're talking about taking a
Uncivilized.
Greyhound bus for a couple of weeks for fun. So what's the
Vacation and rehab are different, sir.
Oh, I got you.
That's
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
That's work.
I understand. I understand the difference.
Vacation.
Yeah, you can rehab.
That wasn't for fun. That's to quit smoking.
So yeah, if you have a good rehab idea of where to go to fucking get away, that's not stupid.
There it is, the open to interpretation clause.
Stay at my grandmother's house.
That's stupid.
Like, yeah, that's what you're gonna get. But yeah, the big social obligation that I canceled this year in September. My brother called. He goes, "Hey, Super Bowl, I want to come out, and these are my days." So I'm starting to look up frequent flyer because I fly them out on my miles, and then I'm like, "This is September, and I'm already starting to do bullshit, and all the fares are expensive." And I'm like, not that it matters, but then I realized, oh, the Super Bowl's in Arizona. That's why that weekend is pricey to come out here. And I don't want to fucking deal with one party that takes 5 months of planning. And I said to Bingo, "Can we cancel Super Bowl?" And she goes, "That's the best idea ever. Let's go somewhere where we can watch Super Bowl and let someone else host." So yeah, there's no Super Bowl party this year.
Well, that's great.
Unless the Cardinals are in it. If somehow the Arizona Cardinals get in the Super Bowl, we could call an audible 2 weeks out. And that way, yeah, it's too late for
every single
then
year.
It's small.
Every single year since the first desert party, every single year since you moved here, you have said, "Erickson, why don't you come to the Super Bowl party?" And I said, "Someday I will." And the year we planned to come to the fucking Super Bowl party, "Oh, we're gonna come out to Bisbee after we move out of Peoria. We'll hang out there for the Super Bowl party."
The date you coming out has been known for over a year as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
generally,
I mean, we all know how old
the problem is, like, people will come out for the Super Bowl party, and some people, it's a bitch to get here. So some people, you don't just come for a day. If you're coming from out of state,
come
well, you
forever.
come for 4 days before, and then people leave the day after the Super Bowl party, and other people get there the day before the Super Bowl and stay for 4 more days. So it turns into a 9-day party.
Right.
You got here in November.
I know. That seems early, right? That seems early? Is that awkwardly early? Does that seem awkwardly? Well, the football season was, in my defense, going on when we arrived.
Yes, true. And we'll be around for playoffs.
The current season in which said Super Bowl will be played.
So that's another thing. I have to figure out where the fuck we're going. We don't even know what we're doing for Christmas yet. And that's, 10 days away or
I
something?
say sushi.
You guys you're not a Christmas guy. There's been a Christmas tree in your living room.
That's last
for,
year's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For the entire year. So either you're a super Christmas guy, or
I
you're
love
just
Christmas
lazy.
lights.
Yes.
And I do like Christmas. I like having a few people over. But we don't know, do we do something on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day? New Year's, fucking Joby's got Hack Oddity coming over from England. I fucking hate New Year's anyway. I'd prefer to be on a plane. I'd like to fly somewhere on Christmas Day, like Christmas Eve, red eye, and then get on a flight that was all Christmas, New Year's Eve, and just miss all that shit. Just be on a plane where every asshole is out doing something they think is important. So I don't know. I get a lot of things to do in my retirement. I'm busier than I was when I wasn't writing new jokes. So that's that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do for Christmas? You just
Nothing.
beat the kids?
No, my kids are pretty much moved out. We don't do much in between Christmas and Thanksgiving, we have a day that we get everybody together. That way the kids can do stuff with their, girlfriends and wives, families and stuff on an actual Christmas. But we've never done shit. When the kids were little, it occurred to me that they'd get out of school and run around like assholes for like a week and a half. And I'd have a closet full of presents. And we'd wait until Christmas and then give it to them. And they'd play with them for like 2 days and then go back to school. And I told Jenny, I was like, fuck that. The first day after school, I called the kids and I said, remember you asked me about Santa Claus, how, he can do all of that in one night. And they're like, yeah. And I said, well, you can't. You guys are on to it. He calls ahead and schedules appointments for people.
Totally believable.
They bought it hooked. So I
Totally.
never ruined
Yeah.
the image of it, but I got to have Christmas the day after they got out of school. I'm like,
Yeah.
so you guys go to bed because Santa Claus is coming tonight.
Santa Claus has this company called Amazon. And,
Yeah.
The nerdiest kid pushes up his glasses and checks the numbers. It calculates out to be right. If he did hit Arizona a week before, this would work out.
I don't have any nerdy kids.
and you guys,
I do.
the Ericksons are going to be here. I don't know if we've gone over the Erickson story or not.
Probably ad nauseum.
We went a little bit into it when you weren't here and we did a podcast.
All right. So you guys are moving to LA. You're going to do a recon this week.
Mhm.
Go scope shit out.
Yeah, right when it's all falling into the ocean, we're going there.
Good. It's the best time.
Yeah, we can act like we're concerned and we're here to help. But we're not, and we aren't.
Comedy FEMA. So you'll be here for Christmas.
I'll
so
be back for Christmas.
We told you that we'd be here for Christmas.
There's no place I'd rather celebrate Jesus' birthday than here in Bisbee, Arizona, at Doug Stanhope's house. I mean, it's, feels like Jesus' birthday.
It's the reason for the season.
That's what I've been
is what
saying.
they say.
He was born in this very room.
Yeah, it feels like it. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's been
He was
cleaned
born-
in 2,000 years.
He was born in that bedroom where Nowhere Man blew his head off. Lightning crashes.
Way to make it awkward, Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
got
just
the
went through
notes.
all. I got my notes, but I couldn't find the goddamn
Glasses
receipt.
to read them?
No, at Tucson Airport, I go to do my crazy flight. I fly out of Tucson. The bar opens at 6 in the morning. I love it. I have a 7 o'clock flight. I go to get my USA Today to check my NFL lines. And they do this thing where at the newsstand where they go, "Oh, would you like to buy like a toiletry for the troops?" What's the word? It's not a supplement, sundry, a sundry item for the troops.
No.
No, and that's what I always say. But that morning I was especially hungover and so tired of them doing that every time. I go, "Is it at cost? Are we doing this at cost, or is it the 500% inflated price over retail value?" It's such a it's not just a scam. It makes you feel like a piece of shit for saying no. First of all, the fucking troop doesn't need Prel. That's or a fucking
Yes, I mean, hopefully the troops have separate shampoo and conditioner. I mean, we are Americans, for God's sake.
Hope that comes with my tax dollars I'm already paying for him with. And I just snapped. And I know it was an old guy, and I know he doesn't. Parodies is the name of the company. I found that, but I don't have a phone. Oh, wait, I do have a phone number. Shit, I've memorized it. I found it on a credit card bill. It's Parodies, Paradies, and they have the monopoly on most fucking newsstands. You can fly through every airport in this country, and you still see that same roly, dumb, stuffed animal that barks when it goes by, and they have it on the floor, which should be such an OSHA concern. Like, it's rolling under old people's feet. It's not only is it fucking annoying. On sale now. It's the exact same sign for the last 20 years for neck pillows. On sale now, 2 for $20. Really, now? And it's in every airport. But Parodies, and they're out of Atlanta. Yeah, this is one of those call to actions where you just want every one of my fucking lonely, bitter fans that have nothing to do but prank calls is call the fucking
they're out
newsstands
there, my friend. They
and
are
the
out
B
there.
gates of Tucson Airport and go, "Hey, stop milking the fucking troops for overpriced fucking bear aspirin and lint brushes." Shit you sell.
They're just selling you stuff, guilting you using the fucking troops thing to make a sale.
You're already selling shit at 300%.
Yeah, I did that. When I worked at the newspaper, I did that to sell subscriptions. I bought a whole bunch of little packages and said, if you buy a subscription to the newspaper, we'll send one of these to a troop in your name. Well, fuck you, it's capitalism.
Yeah. Chad knows.
I mean, you didn't send them to a
it's
troop at all.
scumbaggery.
You cackled and threw them into the garbage after you cashed the check. But, I mean, they don't know that.
The guy in front of me fell for it, which is what pissed me off and made me snap and actually say something. And the old guy said, "It'll say, I support the troops on your receipt," or something like, "Oh, really? Yeah. That's good."
Show your friends.
Well, how different is that
what a
than
good guy you are.
They're doing that with, do you want to round up? You seen this thing? You want to round up your purchase to help MS or whatever?
Yeah, but they do that at Goodwill.
No, they do that at regular retail stores.
Safeway, I've had them ask me something like that, I think.
That's probably just that cashier running a roundup scam.
Wait, why do you need my credit? Why are you pulling out a square?
Safeway roundup scam.
Pocketing that 73 cents in her sleeve.
Guilt. It's guilt.
If I'm paying, we get that all the time at thrift stores because we go to thrift stores, and I think it's Goodwill. One of them that always asks if you're paying cash, I don't want fucking.
It's good. Just round up.
9 cents jingling around in my pocket. Yeah.
We gotta empty the ashtray. If you wait a moment, keep the drawer open.
But yeah, you're not using someone. Goodwill is not inflating the prices because they have a stranglehold over you in an airport where people are going to need shit, so we can charge you whatever the fuck we want, and then on top of that, guilting you. Oh, by the way, this is Becky. She's dying of cancer.
She hasn't brushed her teeth in a week, thanks to you, dick.
Yeah. Did you want to buy her some Rolaids? The chemo gives her acid reflux, something horrific.
I came in for a sewing kit. Jesus.
I took some, and again, I can't thank all of you people enough because I don't remember the shit 10 minutes after. All you people who send us stuff to the house, weird shit that you send us, I love it, and I love you for it. Someone sent me a stack of 12 modern drunkard magazines. Now, I don't know if that's still in print. I think the website is still up, but I don't know. I haven't seen the actual magazine, and all the ones they sent me were dated no later than 2006. But it's a great magazine if you're a drunk. It's all about being a drunk. Yeah.
It's a great mag. You had me at It's a Great Magazine.
It's the one I was reading had all these not a bibliography, but just explaining all sorts of drunkard words like
Vocabulary?
cocktail. But it's a whole list of the etymology of where cocktail came from. Pie-eyed. Pie-eyed wasn't a real one, but they go. But all,
Yeah, I
yeah,
get it.
the roots of all these.
Right.
It's drunkard.com.
Yeah.
Is where you can get it. Modern Drunkard also goes there. And they still have subscriptions. It's $26.99 on sale right now.
Oh, nice.
You round up.
That's a
help the-
great Christmas present.
That's only 2.5 of pop-off vodka.
And you get, 6 booze-packed issues for the year. So they still are
Not
a hard
actually
copy.
booze packed.
It's a lot of fun.
And they send a postcard to a troop.
Well, what
Your
I
name on it.
But we knew Troy,
Someone's getting drunk for you, Lieutenant Colonel Samuel Johnson.
Troy Baxley was a contributor for a while.
Yeah.
That's how I got introduced. That magazine's been around for quite some time.
Yeah, it was kind of like the Onion of Denver, and then
Yeah.
I actually saw one in Bisbee before I moved here at the stock exchange. I'm like, wow, this is everywhere. I thought it was just Denver, but they had a circulation. So I took the magazine on this last crazy flight to get my last mileage. I took this stack of modern drunkards, and I was just insinuating them into the seat back pockets and into newsstands. Like I had to go through Salt Lake twice, coming between Boston and Honolulu, once in and once out. So I put one in there to see if it would still be there. I covered up some shitty magazine with Tom Cruise on the cover or something to see if it would still be there when I got back. And it wasn't even still there when I came out of the Sky Club like 10 minutes later. I think I was so drunk I wasn't very subtle. Like I was dressed in a fucking all lemon suit, yellow head to toe, yellow jacket, yellow pants, yellow shirt, white shoes, white tie. So it was hard for me to be, casual.
Hey, what's Colonel Mustard doing over there? The backs of the seats.
Well, then I went and I just went into a newsstand and then walked up to a rack like I took a magazine, and I walked over and I bought a bottled water and a modern drunkard magazine, and she
one of your modern drunkard magazines.
Yeah, and she kept scanning it, and it wouldn't work, and she kept scanning it, and it would work, and then she actually had to go and type the number into the thing,
Like the
and it
number?
worked.
Oh, shit.
So I paid $4.50 for a modern drunkard magazine.
And it came up on the receipt.
Yeah, and it came up on the receipt, and so then as I'm leaving, I go, you don't really sell this magazine, right? She goes, what? I go, it's just a joke. And I started, and she goes, wait, we don't, I'm going to get in trouble, sir. I
Bring
need
that receipt back here, sir.
I need that receipt. I go, no. And I go, okay, I'll give you the receipt back, but not till I take a picture. So I got a good picture with my modern drunkard magazine. We used to do that to like 99-cent stores and shit, just go in. I think we did that as a goof for the Man Show.
You did the garage sale, didn't you?
Yeah,
Drop-
just going to
drop dildos?
garage sales and then buying shit that they weren't selling. Like dildos, a Nambla t-shirt, fucking hunk of meat. I think we just talked about this on a podcast.
No.
Maybe-
Unless you did it in
I
Australia.
can never fucking remember if we just talked
The Man
about
Show, the podcast, and your dreams have all just blurred together.
It's all right. I'm
Did it
in
really
retirement.
happen? I couldn't.
That's why I'm retired.
Why is that a problem for her? That's 100% profit.
Well, it's a girl that works there.
But that $4.50, they pay nothing for that magazine that you inserted and then you took
Right.
out.
She just should hit delete and pocket
Yeah.
$4.50.
Well, she doesn't know. She's 19 years old. It's her first job, and she's terrified of doing the wrong thing. That's the same reason Ashley wouldn't give me a fucking breakfast sandwich. Erickson
In Peoria, Illinois?
Erickson was there for one of the hardest I ever snapped.
That was it when we were going through. It was a tour, right?
Yeah.
That was the.
But
with
everyone
Jeff Tate.
knows my long-term beef with the Subway sandwich places that don't serve sandwiches after 11. And that was a fucking hard night. That was the first night of the tour or second night, and we were up till 4:30 in the morning. We went to a bar where you knew a girl that worked there, and she's like, "Hey, you want to do some coke in the bathroom?" And
I said no, but Doug does.
Yeah, no, she said it to me. She said it to me, and as we're going there, a cop walks in that she walks past, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" She goes, "Oh, hi, how's it going? Hang on, I'll be right back." And I'm like, "We're still going to the ladies' room to do cocaine while your cop friend in uniform on duty?" She's like, "Yeah, he's cool." So it was a late night.
Yeah,
so
it was one of those nights.
Next morning, there's a Subway across the street, and I go in, and I order a breakfast sandwich, and I'm sorry, sir, it's after 11, and I just went into my usual, but why? Like, why does that matter? It's right, and at one point, it got heated quick, and I said, like, it's like going to Sears and they don't sell socks between 2 and 5 for no particular reason. And I would go through all the other items. Okay, the bacon. What time can I get bacon? Okay, what time can I get tuna fish? And I just kept going through. Well, okay, so the one single item that I cannot get of all these items that you have right there for some reason is an egg.
Right.
And she's. And I know she fucked up in her vocabulary, but instead
of jobs,
instead of saying that it's against the rules, she said it's illegal. And I went out of my fucking mind. I'm going, it's illegal. So we should call a call. And Bingo is mortified.
Right.
You would come in at some point.
Listen. All that happened while you and Bingo were just by yourselves, because we were all meeting. This happened in downtown Peoria, like the Subway that's in downtown Peoria. And we all met at the hotel. I got the fucking
number in my phone.
We met at the hotel.
This is 2 years ago. My number's in my phone still.
We all meet because we lived there at the time. So we come from our house and we meet you there. And Stopka was there. Jeff Tate was there because that tour was just starting. And we all meet at the hotel. And you and Bingo are off by yourselves at the Subway. And you come back just bouncing and like fuming. And Bingo's like, "Oh, what the fuck just happened?" And then we heard, because none of us were, it was just you and Bingo actually in the store.
Yeah, we were waiting in the car.
All right, I didn't know if other people showed up. Bingo was like pulling me out of there. You're embarrassing me. She was like just
Ashley, right?
Ashley was her name. I still have the number in my phone. I'm not going to give it out.
So
she doesn't work there anymore, but I will still call that Subway branch when I go to a Subway where most of them will give you the fucking sandwich after 11 now, and I'll call, "Yeah, hey, I'm at Subway. I'm in Columbus, Ohio." Eating a breakfast sandwich at 3.
For the next 3 weeks, every day, Ashley got a call from Doug. "Here I am. Here's a picture of me at the Subway.
Flying J
Toledo.
truck stop.
Guess what?
Breakfast all fucking day." Click.
Have you ever had someone that you convinced to give you an egg that started off and you gave them the logic and they were like, "Ah, fuck, that makes sense. Let me give you a fucking egg."
Never by logic, but I have bought my way into it.
Really?
I'll give you $10 for a breakfast sandwich right now. And like if he needs it that bad.
Yeah.
But it was never logical.
Still has to ring it in at regular price.
Well,
so
that's
guy-
right. He just got a big tip.
$4.
Yeah.
But that's the problem is they don't have a button that works. Like they have the button
For Egg Addict?
So it's a software upgrade problem.
I think that's the problem.
There's got to be something. This is the way you scam it. You just find something that's similar on the a
Right.
menu price.
You just bought 3 meatball marinaras.
with extra cheese. Thank you.
I've gone.
No cheese. No cheese.
Right. And then he's got to throw the meatball marinara into the garbage can because the inventory has to match the receipt.
They count meatballs.
That's a rookie
They count
move right
meatballs,
there.
man.
Cincinnati
I
Air.
like this guy. Cover your tracks. Always cover your tracks.
Why are you throwing 3 meatball sandwiches in the
Shut
garbage?
up.
Stanhope was just here. Well after 11.
Oh wait, Chaley and I got a couple more good. Chaley and I, we did that Vegas show, in Vegas at the Plaza Hotel, it's beside the bus station, so they have a McDonald's food court.
Fremont Street, old school.
The good Vegas.
So they have a Subway as part of the Plaza food court for the vagrant Greyhound people, and they won't sell you a fucking sandwich after 11. In Vegas,
11 a.m.
Whores,
11 a.m.
and gamble, cocktails, but no fucking
penny
shitty-
slots and a blowjob, fine, but not an egg sandwich.
So I got Chaley, and who was it? You? Who was it? Where we bought a bunch of different sandwiches.
Oh yeah, no, you went down there by yourself.
I did it the first time. I did it by myself, where I ordered. I need a foot long tuna with this and that and this and two. Okay, and they get that, and okay, I'm gonna need a meatball sub, 12-inch on this kind of thing, and that, and this, and then just a 6-inch ham, egg, and cheese. Oh, we don't serve that after 11. I go, oh, never mind then. After they've already made up the other two.
Make it the third.
So then I got Chaley and someone else Andy probably. Didn't I get you guys to do it as well? And
No,
then we all bailed.
something crapped out on that. I
That's
think they made it for us.
That's legitimately the best way to make them change their policy.
Absolutely.
Like you always talked about the Occupy movement,
Yep.
about how you had no actual plan to fuck with the banks. You're actually fucking with Subway. If enough people did that, if they took enough of a bath on people who ordered lunch sandwiches before they ordered their final
And the
breakfast
last thing
sandwich,
is-
they would be like, you know what? Just give them their goddamn breakfast sandwiches whenever they want them, and you would affect change.
All right, there you go.
There's
That's
the
a
plea.
Doug Stanhope podcast call to action. Go out and order as many sandwiches as you can watch them make up and ruin, and then order. They even have a 3-inch breakfast sandwich.
Sometimes.
Order that.
Sometimes. Not all the time.
They're getting pretty consistent.
You've had an argument with someone who is struggling with the English language to
Oh,
try
yeah.
and figure out, like, well, wait a minute, just cut the 6-inch in half. We don't do that. It's like, but just, they do it other places. Why don't you do it here? Just cut it in half. I'll pay for the 6-inch. I just want the 3.
I don't want to
There we
waste
go. Yeah,
food.
yeah.
That's I can't get a piece of toast at breakfast. I'll go just one piece of toast and one scrambled egg. That's usually
That's your
what
classic,
what
yeah.
I can
Your-
swallow in the morning to just get me going. And they'll give me 2 eggs and 2 pieces of toast.
Your life is like that one scene from 5 Easy Pieces when Nicholson couldn't get the fucking chicken.
Hold it between your legs. In Cincinnati, I did this whole fucking Subway sandwich breakfast thing, and I wouldn't do it, and so I went down and I went through the whole pointing out every single. What time do you serve that? What time do you serve? What about tomatoes? What's the? So I went through all that, and I just left, and I went down to one of those like Bruner's Bagels places that still had egg sandwiches, and I said, I just want the egg. And I went back and I ordered the breakfast sandwich that they wouldn't sell me, just everything else. And then I paid for it, and then I opened it up in front of them, and I took the fried egg and just slapped it as hard as I could and slapped the top. I said, thank you very much. You guys, listeners, please do better things with your time. I don't know why some things just make me so fucking angry.
It just occurred to me. It's kind of the opposite. Like comics are always talking about they're talking about something on stage that happened to them in real life, but in real life it didn't happen to them. They thought it in real life.
Yeah.
But then they took it to the stage and they act like it happened. Oh, well, I was at Subway today and they said I couldn't have an egg, and I said, "But fuck you. Well, what time's the bacon not blah blah blah." But they never actually did that.
Right. That's why it's always...
You already feel guilty about talking about this too much on the podcast. Like you don't want to take it to the stage. You're the opposite of that. You actually do the comedy routine at the... If you want to hear the Doug Stanhope Subway routine, you have to go with him to a Subway where he performs that routine. Sometimes it's better than others. Sometimes you're into it. Sometimes you're a little drunk. But that's legitimate to me. Like that's legitimately comedy, right? Like you're the opposite of a hacky comic who's I was in Alabama.
It's not a hypothetical. This would be funny if it's an everyday fucking occurrence.
That's what you can always tell when they thought about it but never did it is because in their act it always happened today.
Right. Yeah.
And that kills me when they do it on fucking.
Remember, we were just watching. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah.
Do you?
I don't remember which comedian
I can
it was.
tell you exactly what it was.
It doesn't matter. The point is, a fucking guy that we respect on a fucking special
On
said,
a Netflix special.
yeah, said, yeah, today, really,
Something
You
on the way
planned-
here. On the way here.
on the way here.
On the way here. Like, really? That just happened on the way here.
Yes,
You're recording this for Netflix tonight. But you're
you
doing
did-
a 10-minute bit on
You-
something
you
that
worked
happened to
this
you
out.
on the way here.
For a year, 2 years, you've been working on this set.
Well, he dumped that bit for this bit he just wrote tonight because something crazy happened to him on the plane here. That was a hint.
I haven't
Are you guys talking
I haven't
about that-
watched that
that
one
special?
yet, but you guys are pretty clear.
I don't. You know what? We watched 3 specials that night, and they're all good. That was just one.
Moment.
But I was amazed at how fucking Lewis Black still brought the shit.
he was the best one.
Yeah, he was the best one. And yeah, Lewis, he kind of drifts off your radar sometimes. And we watched that. I rarely watch comedy, but we watched one, and then we like, fuck it, let's watch a few more. And
His
yeah.
brain is so turned on into the moment of the show he's doing while he's doing it that if you do comedy and watch comedy, you can tell when
Yes.
somebody's locked in, like, and that's his whole thing, to be blah while he's doing it. But that's when he's doing it. He's legitimately
It was fucking
frontal
fantastic.
lobe at that point, you
Yeah.
know? Fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was inspiring.
Yeah.
The other ones you tend to pick apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, the golden goose, you try to find the
best,
flaw.
The best part is when you're like picking him apart, but you're sitting fucking high and drunk on a couch in Bisbee, like, this is, I could do way better than this.
But generally, I was still like liking it. But
I was talking about me. You have a career.
I'm always worried about someone stepping on my dick. So
Yeah.
like, oh geez, he's don't go in that direction. Oh, good, okay, my bit's safe.
Yeah, there was a couple times where you edged closer to the TV, like, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't
where I'm
think of
like,
that.
oh fuck, if he goes in this direction with this topic, that
20
whole-
minutes I got to cut.
Yeah, my bits are long, so if you step on a little bit of my dick,
Yeah.
I have fucking, what's his name, John Oliver, that prison bit he did, just walked all over a year's worth of fucking work. And it's not like he stole it from me, but and like the part that mattered the most is where he stepped the hardest on the fucking purple end of my dick in that bit. And I'm like, yeah, I could use the rest of it, but there was that little
That
piece. And I even tried to do it for a couple of weeks afterwards, acknowledging that if you saw, and no one fucking
No one
knows,
even known, first
one
of
out
all.
of fucking 1,000 people at my shows would know that bit or remember it, but I know.
You feel too guilty not to mention it, so you have to mention it, and then it becomes a real clunky part of the whole bit, which clunks
It was
it all the fuck up, and you can't.
Yeah.
In
do
your
it
head,
anymore,
yeah,
right.
it's just in your head, and it was a part about prison rape. Rape jokes are not funny, but prison rape jokes are fine. And his examples, because he has video and a crew, he found all these examples of joking even in animated cartoons about prison rape. Oh, you shouldn't drop this up. And I'm like, all right, that beats my fucking.
But then he cut to like
I don't
stories of guys who were in prison unjustly for like nonviolent drug offenses, right? Like, isn't that how he drove that joke home, where he said the reason prison rape it's always funny to make fun of prison rape because fuck them, they're just prisoners, but there are people in prison who don't deserve to be in prison.
That again,
Right.
that was
That
was my bit. I don't even remember him stepping on that part of my bit.
Oh no, I thought that's what it.
Here's Erickson twisting the knife over here.
That was how my bit ended. Was we have 600,000 nonviolent drug offenders that are deserve no harsher sentence than a high five. So I started out with whether rape jokes are funny. So this is my theory: is rape jokes. If your kid's jogging across campus and someone jumps out of the bushes and fucks her inside out and rapes her, that's not funny unless she was holding weed. If she had weed on her, then it's funny by your rules.
And the retiring of a joke.
Yeah, fuck it.
I'm sorry.
You know
I
what?
made-
More people
sorry
listen to
that-
John Oliver than this podcast.
I'm sorry I made
I don't
talking
know who
about
John Oliver
a clunky
is.
joke clunkier.
He's the British guy that was he was on the Daily
Bespeckled.
Show.
Bespeckled.
British guy that was
think
he did
bespectacled is the
the
word
commentary
you
on the Daily Show, a correspondent, and then now he has his own
Wait,
HBO show.
Right on.
We got. I'm sorry.
Bespectacled.
Erickson talked over you guys discussing what was pertinent to correct me that I should have said bespectacled.
Wait a minute. Do you think that it's pertinent to explain to people who John Oliver is? Only Chad doesn't know who that is.
That's probably true. I'm pretty isolated.
No.
Yes. I should have said bespectacled.
Thank you. That's easy.
Oh, that
Wasn't
helps
hard,
me remember
Shaylee?
who it was, too.
See?
The bespectacled gentleman. Now I know who you're talking about.
Nigger, please, I'll start a riot because I got omega-3s up in my diet. That was a lyric that I, in the morning when I'm just goofing off with Bingo, and I'll just start rapping about dumb things just to annoy her.
Hold on a second. It's more than that. In the morning, Bingo and I try to, we're on the road, we try to stay the fuck out of your way. And we hope someone knocks on the door by accident or someone, like, it has to be someone else. It can't be us that gets the ire of Mr. Stanhope in the morning.
Wait,
To
no,
incur the
It
initial
is-
wrath.
Oh, it's a release valve. It's like this pressure that's building. It's like this brass tank that's like almost, you can almost see through it. It's gonna go. Just don't be the person that touches it. So sometimes he'll call the desk, and that I think is
I'm
on my
aware of
birthday.
it, and I try to, like, if an 800 number of a commercial that bothers me that's all full of shit, and I'll go yell at them. I'm talking about home Doug, retired Doug, where I'm goofy. It's just me and Bingo, and I'm goofing off, and I'm running around with my fucking pants hiked up my ass and farting and singing dumb songs to Amy Bingo Bingaman. And
You mean Jeff Dunham's act?
he
I'm
sings
sorry, I
Bingo
don't know
songs.
why I thought that would be funny.
Just to me.
Randomly, a
I
guy,
picture it as a guy with the pants jammed up his ass running around singing songs.
at
Probably
some
more than
point, I'm taking some fish oils. I'm retired at that point, so I'm drinking water in the morning and eating some fish oils and a vegetable fruit smoothie. And I was taking some fish oils, and so I'm rapping at Bingo, and I said, "Nigga, please, I'll start a riot because I got omega-3s in my diet." And that was just one that stood out. I thought was exceptionally funny. And someone randomly tweeted or emailed something about, "Hey, I'll pay you $10 for a lyric from my new album," and that was the first one that came to mind. And I go, "Okay," and I sent him, "Nigger, please, I'll start a riot," and with my address, and he sent me a check for $10.
So you're
So
a published.
I am a paid songwriter. I'm a professional, and I do this to her all the time. I have that one Fun with Pedophiles book out, so I get like $200 a quarter for royalties, and because Bingo, she has an album that she hasn't put out. She has a book.
It's
her
in the-
diaries from when she was in the mental institution.
She's in the
She just-
final rewrite on that.
for the 10 years.
Yes.
I think it's one of those things where she's terrified to finish because then she doesn't think she has a project. I think she likes always having this project she's about to finish. But the point is, I just rub it in her face. I'm a professional songwriter. I'm a paid author. I'm a professional author. I'm a
revered orator.
I'm a TV star because I've been on television. The last one, I'm a movie star now because I did the Chris Rock movie Top 5, and so that's been added to the list for the last month since I filmed it. That I'm a big time movie star now, and I got cut. They have like 85 comics in the thing. I'm the only comic that's on the cutting room
Really?
floor.
Oh,
So yeah.
no.
Once again, you have something prestigious on your resume. I'm one of only 85.
Actually, Chris Rock was asked by Mark Maron Actually, Mark Maron asked Chris Rock, is there anything that happened that you got cut from the movie that you wish stayed in? And he
didn't even ask. Chris Rock brought it up on his own. He's like,
I thought that's what Maron said.
Maybe you're right. I thought he was just talking about all the comedians.
But he brought it up, and Chris Rock goes, man, the one thing is Stanhope, man.
And it made me mad, or I hated it.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted Stanhope in the movie.
Which is probably
But
better.
doesn't he have total control over the cuts?
No, he said the scene just didn't work.
Didn't
for
work.
him.
It didn't jive. And
I just don't want to let him off the hook that easy. God damn it.
I heard Chris Rock on Howard Stern a while back, and he was naming off a bunch of comedians, and I didn't hear you, so I guess that's why.
Yeah. So now I had to fucking eat crow.
That's so awesome. I'm thinking Chad's gonna like blow smoke up
5-6
Stanhope's
minutes of
like,
just names.
Yeah, by
Just
the
a
way, I
list
don't
of
even know
names.
your name. What's your name?
Doug's listening. He's like, wait a minute. Some of those guys are middles.
So many of them. Even Chaley was listening to it. It was one of those where I felt really bad because someone tweeted, hey, it was really cool what Chris Rock said about you on the Mark Maron podcast. And then you go, now I'm going to have to fast forward through this just to hear my name. I'm such a douche. I don't have time to sit through a whole fucking podcast.
If you're gonna tweet it,
He
tweet the
said
minute
into
and
his
seconds.
podcast microphone.
So if you have a movie I can just appear in as an extra so I can just rub in Bingo's face that I'm a movie star.
Yeah, now it's a rush to get on screen. You do it like, will you do an independent film?
No, I did the Aristocrats. I can't count
listen,
that.
Louis C.K. You did the Louis C.K. show.
true.
Yeah, that's
Louis,
that's why
it's
I'm
not
a
long
giant.
before. It's not long before Louis got a movie project working. I mean, come on,
yeah.
right? I mean, he's done so well with that TV show. He's got to have somebody giving him movie money. You could worm your way.
He
into
doesn't
something
return
he's
my
doing.
calls. No one returns my calls. I don't call anyone actually.
You don't answer the fucking phone.
Yeah, that's true too.
Even when I call,
I fucking called you today for sushi.
I
You didn't answer the
I
phone.
don't answer when you called either.
You were in the car behind us.
I know.
I stopped myself from waving out the window like, pick up the phone.
You're retired. It's not you're calling to say there's a gig.
Yeah, it's not important.
Yeah.
Not crucial.
There's not merch for sale at this sushi restaurant.
But I did do and it's my favorite show to hate. To the point where I just stopped apologizing for watching it, and I get home and that's the first thing I want to watch on my DVR and to hate it. Bar Rescue.
Hell yeah.
I did on the BBC. I do this Voice of America thing every so often, and one of the rants I was on was about reality TV shows. And how most of them you only watch it because one guy on there is a dick. Like you wouldn't watch like people welding motorcycles unless someone's gonna fucking yell at someone else and be a wicked asshole. Would you go to a pawn shop in person to watch pawns
What they
happening?
do. Yeah.
Should you go there live? If you wouldn't watch it live, you shouldn't watch
Right.
the TV show. And in it, I said the biggest dick in American reality is John Taffer from Bar Rescue because he's not even a dick. He's not even a natural. He's just copying other dicks, and he knows he has to be a dick. So he's just yelling at them. He yells at you when he's doing the, off-camera stuff. If these people don't get their shit together, I'm going to shut the place. Don't scream right into the camera. I'm a guy on a couch. So evidently he saw that and thought it was hilarious and asked me to be on the show to do bar recon. And I'm like, this is a fucking dream come true. I trashed Dr. Drew for at least 11 minutes on a Showtime special. Next thing I know, he wants me on his podcast. I trashed John Taffer on the BBC. He wants me on the show. I got to trash a Judd Apatow movie or something.
No, you should make fun of the State of the Union address.
Yeah.
I'm Barack Obama, and I would like to introduce to you Doug Stanhope with few words. It's all
He's
about
really
Subway
funny.
breakfasts.
He tears you down, but it's so funny. So yeah, that'll come out, I guess, in February. I don't know how much I can
So
talk
wait,
about
so
it.
Did you get to meet John Taffer?
Yeah, I get to sit in the
so
suburban.
so you
way
were the
living.
guy that went. You were the guy that went in but ahead of time. And
Well, that's what I.
He left his big tittied wife in the car.
wait, you're thinking of Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Oh, I
now,
don't
right?
know.
They're not. Hey, Chad, they're not all the same guy, dude. It's not just one guy.
Wait, it's the same channel.
one
That
guy
means it's
doing
the same people.
It's
isn't
just
it?
one couple doing all of the reality shows. They're super busy. Like they do 30 minutes of Dog. They go to Bar Rescue. They're doing Kitchen Nightmares, Good Eats.
You know what? And it kills me to say this is I wanted it to be way more fake than it was. It was like it was so not as set up as I thought it was going to be. And I thought maybe I'll go do this and then write a story for like Vice.com about like all the bullshit shenanigans and how it's set up. I walked in there. It should have been more set up than it was. Because I walked in there and they're in this bar and they're looking around. Well, okay, it's got this kind of theme. Well, let's brainstorm. What could we do with it? What could it be? It could be this kind of thing. What? I don't want to give away details because I probably signed like 8,000 pages of non-disclosure forms.
But it felt like on the fly, right?
Like, yeah, you should have at least had fucking producers come in ahead of time.
Like
a couple of ideas.
Prep the crew and the
Have this
regulars.
shit figured out already?
Yeah.
Oh, you got 4 days to do this, and you're just gonna
We
sit
could turn
down
it
and-
into a Long John Silver's, I guess. That'll make money.
Winchell's Donuts do really
Everybody
good.
likes Burger King.
But yeah, I was supposed to do recon, so I show up and
Recon is where before the
if
the
you don't
show-
know the show, fucking just watch
right.
the show. I'm not gonna explain it to you. Yeah, they send in people ahead of time. Go ahead.
Recon is where they send someone undercover and they're completely mic'd and there's cameras that's been set up all over the bar.
They're vaguely undercover because
Yeah.
they let a few of the regulars in. They sent
The bar was closed.
They always
remember?
have the mixologist and the expert chef
behind the-
So
behind
they
the
sent
scenes.
those guys in it as recon, and I sat in the Suburban with him watching it, which you're really watching it on a screen in a Suburban.
Yeah.
So it's not. I thought that was all
The
probably in
wireless
Right.
cameras are set up in advance in strategic angles all over.
Yeah, but they're not only that, they still have 2 cameramen at least with giant hulking fucking things, and like 6 regulars, and then 2 guys we don't know come in and complain. A lot for 2 hours. They had the recon guys where we're sitting in the thing watching him, and he's like, "Tell him to do this," and trying to get a reaction out of the.
So they're wired. They can hear what's like from
Yeah,
the production
they get
booth.
earpieces. So yeah, they're telling them how to. They want this guy to snap, and he won't snap.
The owner, right? You
The
told me?
owner he's snapping alone in the kitchen, like fuck this, but when they bring him out,
Front of
like,
house.
address him directly, and the guy just goes, "I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. I apologize." And they're
So
not,
he's doing the right thing.
yeah, exactly.
What happens in every restaurant and bar in America every single
That's
night?
terrible.
As
We
speak?
can't have this.
So then he's
Send Stanhope in there. He'll fuck this shit up.
after 2 hours. That's exactly what he did. Meanwhile, I'm getting hammered. I have fucking my mini bottles
Order
everywhere,
a
and
breakfast sandwich. What time is the bacon available, sir?
Jesus, they serve breakfast at that place too. I can't believe I didn't think of that.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, he would have gone right into snap mode.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter where he's at. If it's breakfast is in the sentence or the thing that he's thinking of, it turns into Ashley. It just becomes that right away. That's your trigger word. Like a safe word? That's
The
your trigger
opposite
word.
of that. Doug has the opposite of a safe word.
So they sent me in after 2 hours. They couldn't get a reaction. You go, send me in, and I'll try to. Yeah, I couldn't get him to snap either. And they did actually serve me fucking raw chicken wings, like blood red. Like, ugh, I didn't know chicken could get that red inside. I actually spit it out and wanted to say, I'm not just doing this for TV. This is fucking disgusting.
They call the other people like an expert mixologist, and then the chef. What did they have like you captioned as like a?
I told them
expert drunk and a professional bitcher,
Asshole.
Retired.
retired.
Then they cut to an interview with Ashley, and she's like flop sweating. Like, I dealt with this guy back in
He's
fucking
difficult.
Doge.
They're showing Doug's Yelp reviews.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We're gonna break to take a piss, And
We're almost at where we could do part 2.
Wow.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Now let's just fucking
Blow through it.
Well, we're going to pause quickly. I do want to mention a few things. Bill Burr, he's doing the Australia New Zealand tour as well. So if you were there, go to billboard.com and get tickets. And they're building a new studio for what's the fucking name of this? All Things Comedy.
All Things Comedy.
All Things Comedy.
The Comedy Network we're on.
The Comedy Network that we're on.
All right.
They're building a studio.
That was great.
Good manager.
I don't even have a fucking link. So donate to that.
Allthingscomedy.com.
Yeah. Go to allthingscomedy.com and they have some Kickstarter to build a new studio that I'll never be in. But still, Chuck, they have way better you'd rather hear Bill Burr in a nice studio than me in a fucking...
But
Hey,
he only,
listen,
he
in
only does one a
Australia-
week.
In Australia, they're going to love Bill Burr's hilarious American football jokes. Those are going to crush.
Well, his new special on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. We watched
Released
that
on
special.
Netflix.
That was good.
It was good.
But one other thing I want to get in. The Libertarian folk up in Manchester, New Hampshire, who we had such a fun time partying with, they sent me a jug of Papa vodka in the mail with a golden ticket on parchment. That was my itinerary to fly out to some function I told them there's no way I'm going to go to. And they already, they bought a ticket for me.
A refundable.
I'm assuming it's refundable.
Willy Wonka.
Yes.
A golden
Yeah,
ticket.
that's nice.
That was very nice of you, and I love your tenacity. There's no fucking way I'm going to be in New Hampshire in the first week of March. Yeah, I'm not going to show up. There's no way. All right, let's take a quick break.
You're listening to the Doug Stanhope podcast, brought to you by Miners and Merchants, Bisbee, Arizona. Get your antique stuff while you're in town stalking Doug. Just put it in your van and take it home.
And that was our feeble houseboy, Reverend Derek. Now, back to the podcast, already failing. We're back from tinkling, dog wrangling.
Not in that order.
There's some construction going on at the house, so the dogs have found a way to get down to this house. And there's been a few scraps between Brett Erickson's dog and Henry Phillips, our dog.
Yeah.
That's not Brett Erickson's dog.
Yeah, no, it's not. Well, I have that dog.
You're responsible for that dog.
It's just not my dog. I'm like Dick Geron for the Chicago Bears. He used to have a radio show. Famously, he said about his radio show, well, I'm on that show, but it's not my show. And the exact same analogy applies to this dog. It's Carrie Mitchell's dog. I just have that dog, too.
You're the caretaker.
And our dog took it in the ass from Henry Phillips.
Twice.
Also, the dog Henry Phillips has really been mean to our dog.
Yeah, that's Ichabod is the one that looks like he's going to be a problem. He's the one that barks and gets right in your face and looks like he's going to attack, and Henry Phillips does nothing but wag her tail.
Yeah.
And then 3 hours later, she's eating your dog.
Carrie Mitchell says that Henry Phillips is the Omar from The Wire version of dogs. Like, he's just like all cool and everything's fine. And then all of a sudden,
BAM!
He's whistling. If I could whistle, I'd whistle Farmer in the Dell right now. Omar coming, y'all. And then pounce. Spoiler alert, Omar's a badass. You'd watch The Wire.
The canceled Wire.
Do not.
The canceled Wire? That's how you refer to it?
It's still not on.
It's not canceled. It's
What'd
just
they do?
done.
Oh.
It ended.
Oh, there's no more prisons?
They just put it on
That's
Amazon.
not what The Wire's about.
They just put it on
thinking of
Amazon
Oz.
Prime.
Never saw anything from The Wire. Is that the one where the guy sings all the busts?
You're thinking of Frozen, the
Oh,
movie from
sorry.
Disney.
It's Christmas season.
It's I got I think Boss or The Boss.
Boss.
Boss is the
Kelsey
one I'm about
Grammer.
to start. Again, one of my things in my retirement is watch all the Netflix and never leave the couch. So people told me about this because Charlie Brooker, the guy I do the news wipe things for in the BBC in the UK, he wrote this. The Black Mirror it's everyone told me about it. I never got around to it. Found out it's on Netflix and watched in the first 6 minutes of the first episode.
So good.
You're going, holy fuck. I am going to be up all night watching every episode.
You think you're getting punked. Like this is not.
You
this
think
isn't
it's going to
really
be a comedy.
Yeah,
It's
like
not.
Monty Python or something.
I'm intrigued already. I don't know.
Oh, shit. I haven't told you about this?
No.
Okay.
Stop. Just let him go into it organically like we did.
It's
good.
all really dark. None of them live up to what you think is going to be comedy in the first one. But they live up.
So
and
good.
they're all different. It's like the Twilight Zone where it's every
On
episode.
Netflix.
Yeah, on Netflix.
All right.
So yeah, I got a
We
few
could do a
on Netflix.
bonus. We could do a
Put it in my
bonus
fucking
podcast,
thing.
not subject people unless
Yeah.
they actually look for it. Just talking about those episodes because you and I talked about the first three or four.
Yeah,
For-
you
the
were
season
you
is-
were in the middle of the third after I'd finished.
The first episode, just the whole time, without giving anything away at all. The
No,
whole
do
time they
not.
act like it's going. Like at any point they could make it a comedy. They just keep not.
So
That- right, like
fucking
and at every point all the way through, you're like, when are you going to release the pressure on this fucking
It
thing that's
just
happening?
goes.
And
When the credits roll.
it just keeps happening.
Yeah, if you can watch the first episode and not sit, because there's 2 seasons, which is 3 episodes each. The
Yeah,
BBC
the whole
does it
6
right. They don't.
So it's only how
6
many
Six
episodes?
altogether.
I think there's a new
So I'll
one
be
coming
done
out.
tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
All right.
Well, unless you have to
You
shower
can watch
in between
them all
them.
during a commercial for.
Do I look like I've showered in the
No,
last week?
listen, Chad. I've watched these things, and I'm like, Tracy, my girlfriend. I'm uncomfortable. I'm searching my soul for some of these things. Would you do this? What honestly, Doug, you and I,
Yeah, that was-
you hate talking on the phone. We had a 15-minute conversation, the longest in our history,
Shit, I want to watch
based
this.
on this on that first
wicked good.
fucking show.
I've even brought people that stopped by the house and went, "Hang on, watch the first episode," knowing
easily.
they'd go home and watch the other 5.
You know what I loved is like you and I both had like, oh, this was the best line of the scene, and it's like, no, this is, and I agreed with you, but would fight for my line. It's like that good. There's like, that's the first episode. So
All right.
it's called Black Mirror.
It's one of those things where you go, I don't know that I could ever be that creative. On my list of things to do in my retirement, write a book, and I couldn't come up with that. I have an idea for a screenplay that all I have is the premise and not even a plot, and I've been doodling with it in my head for 6 months, and they just crank out this fucking. It's insane. Have you watched it?
The
All
first
6?
one.
First one.
No,
Oh, you
just
haven't
the
watched
first
all
one.
6?
But you know, even the other ones that follow, listen, start with the fucking home run out of the park.
Yeah.
Because the other ones, if you just watched that and didn't watch the first one, you'd be like, that's fucking
But
pretty good.
everyone has something.
Oh,
The third one, like
yeah.
the relationship shit that you've been through, and then it turns into like horror with the white bear. It's
yeah.
Almost.
What? White Bear. You
Even
just
out
jump
of that.
into you
That's
jumped into
the name
season
of-
2?
That's. Oh, you haven't seen all.
No, motherfucker.
Well, it's the name of the episode. I'm not
Stop.
giving it.
Wait.
That's the name of the
That's
episode.
the most
when you
intriguing
start.
thing so far is that nothing you guys have said has been a spoiler or even an inkling as to what the fuck
Well,
this is about.
Listen, not only
There's
that,
not, you know.
You'll thank us later.
Oh, yeah.
Not only
All
that,
all
but,
I'm in. I'm on board.
White Bear is my rap name. So that's also an interesting fact.
I thought it was
Concerning the
Poncho Skin
Black
Flap.
Mirror.
He's a gay white rapper.
Also, Big Onesie. I rapped under Big Onesie for a while. Where I'd wear a big
That's when you were
onesie.
Chicago. Now you're
Chica-
West Coast.
I was Chicago Big Onesie. I was
Where's your
Chicago Big
$10
Onesie.
check for rap lyrics? I'd like to see it.
I'm a professional
has one.
songwriter. I don't have one of those. I'm
Yeah.
open mic. I'm open mic Big Onesie.
Well, that might be your rap name, but your Twitter handle is at Brett Erickson, ERICKSON 68. Brett
Exactly
Erickson
right.
68, and of course Chad Shank, the golden voice, at HD Fatty, Fatty with a Y, and Greg Chaley is Greg Chaley, CHAILLE. You should have something fucking like cute,
Like
Yeah.
68 at the end.
right?
That's hilarious.
1, 2, 3,
Oh,
Apple.
like it's almost 69.
I'll owe you
Thanks for
one.
finally getting that, dude. It's my best.
Tour manager to the losers.
And the dead.
And the retired.
Wow, Chaley.
I had
Doing
fucking.
it all.
I don't update my website often, as you can tell if you go there, because I don't think people go to websites anymore, so I'm not motivated. Everyone's Twitter and Facebook, but I will update that. But I've been doing a lot of Yelp reviews for fun and goofy ones, but then just about the road through Yelp reviews. And I've noticed two, if anyone knows how fucking Yelp works, two of mine have been taken down. And one of them was a 5-star review of the Sheraton 4 Points at the Tucson airport.
Local.
It's my second, like my bar, my regular bar where I'm a regular is at the B Gates at Tucson Airport. The second most
Sushi.
regular bar is the Tucson Airport Hotel Bar. And they fucking took that one down.
On what grounds?
And they took down the one from the fucking whatever cantina on Sunset. I wrote it was a fucking hilarious one. It's in where Johnny Depp's house where we stayed, and it's this whole thing about going to that. It's not Charlie's Cantina. It's the something cantina on Sunset Boulevard.
Maybe this is why they took the Yelp review down.
Well,
I
no,
can't remember the name of the
It was very funny about going in there because we were at Johnny Depp's house as guests of Johnny Depp, who we are friends with.
You had
And
just
we
done
went
the
to this-
comedy store, and you were like in the area.
Yeah, we were staying there. So we went in, and no one seemed to notice our loud conversations talking about Johnny Depp and how we're staying at Johnny Depp's house. And it just went on Johnny Depp, and it didn't matter because Johnny Depp's staff had set us up with so much stuff we didn't even need to be at a restaurant. But there's no one at Johnny Depp's house to talk about how we're staying at Johnny Depp's house with. So we went to the bar to talk about Johnny Depp. No one seemed to pay us any attention. 1 star. That got taken down, and the fucking just a normal one about how cool the staff is. So I don't know if Yelp takes shit down, if people, so if you know anything about how Yelp works, I was having a lot of fun writing Yelp reviews, and now I'm pissed that if they're going to take the things down.
They're good, and they're accurate with an undertone of comedy.
It's,
Some of them are not accurate at all.
But listen, it's exactly what we were just talking about a little while ago about how your comedy is now, instead of your comedy being on the stage, your comedy is out there. Your comedy is at Subway ordering a fucking egg sandwich after 11 a.m. or writing a Yelp review for a fucking weird bookstore you're in.
I am more inspired by Brendan Walsh than anyone. Like, he just does all sorts of crazy shit I should be doing.
Remember when he put the big fathead picture of himself stirring a pot of fucking boiling water or whatever it was on the Top Chef's billboard on
Sunset Boulevard?
Avenue?
Yeah.
He climbed up there. He climbed up. Took a picture
wait a
of
minute.
himself.
He went to
doing it, and then
Kinko's.
he climbed up there and stuck it onto the fucking billboard.
Brett, he had to explain to someone at Kinko's why he needed it this big.
And he needed one where he's like holding a big giant silver pot
With
in
a
his
chef-
in his left hand,
chef
and
hat.
his right hand is like angrily stirring it.
And he's still like a fifth of the size of all the
That's
other
what it was.
contestants.
Well, this was the best part of the
There's
story.
pictures of this.
The best part it was up.
Oh,
the best part of the story is that he thought, like, just from looking at it from the street when
Eyeballing
he
it.
planned this whole thing, that if he got it this size, it would match scale-wise.
All
But
the
when he
other-
finally climbed up there with this thing that he could stick up there, he realized it's way smaller than it needed to be. So he stuck it. So he stuck it to there. But instead of that ruining it, it just made it look like he was standing in the background, angrily stirring a pot, like the shunned person from Top Chef.
The background in the
it ended up
foreground.
making it better. Right.
That's great.
The only one you focus on is Brendan Walsh.
That's fucking
He
great.
did another one that was a cell phone. If you're not following Brendan Walsh, you're missing out on Twitter. He did one he was showing us when we were there at Johnny Depp's house as guests of Johnny Depp. And
Where was that at?
Who?
He came over and he's showing us one. There was a billboard for his cell phone, and it was a blank cell phone. So he created the text to put on the cell phone, and it's
Oh, like the numbers.
something like, "Hey, Dad died last night. And then the response, OMG, what the fuck? Or what, WTF? But it looked like
Oh, fuck, that's great.
you'd have to like, did I just see that on a
Right.
billboard?
That's,
God damn it, he's funny.
Yeah.
when I was in the 6th grade, our bus used to pass a big billboard of Hulk Hogan with a milk commercial.
Wait,
It was
what?
right- it was
A big billboard of Hulk.
It was, yeah, it was Hulk Hogan. There's a milk like.
Where did you go to school? Nirvana?
You never saw Hulk Hogan
No,
did new milk commercials in your town?
Go ahead.
What the
Go ahead.
fuck?
Go ahead.
So anyway, it was by my cousin's house, and we got off the bus, and you could climb up there. And we just took a big marker and blacked out the middle of his fucking teeth. We're in 6th grade. We thought it was hilarious.
That's what you
The
know.
Yeah, the bus would pass by it every day, and you can fucking point and laugh.
Sixth
It
grade.
does a body good.
Yeah.
6th grade, you do the teeth, then you learn the mustache, and then the dick in the face is high school.
Yeah.
Then the dick in the face is every band that ever drew on a green room wall.
At every venue,
Every
you've done in the
venue
last
I
5
play
years.
is fucking just bands. They have to be so fucking dumb to talk to. Because if you ever sit in the green room and you look at the shit that they write on the green room walls, it's just dick pictures and you suck and shit you would write in grammar school toilets. Like, really, you have a band? Do you write lyrics? And then...
This is when Chad and I don't debut the band we've been putting together secretly to debut.
We're not going to
Doug
debut
Stanhope
Incontinent Dog tonight. I thought we were on board.
You know,
All
Incontinent
right,
Dog.
put the guitars away. He does not into it.
Incontinent Dog reminds me of Brendan Walsh's podcast, The Bone Zone.
Yeah.
And you can get in touch with Brendan Walsh to find out what his next caper is at BrendanWalsh.com or his Twitter handle at Brendan Walsh. The only one.
Do not follow Brendan Walsh on Twitter, but follow his
Absolutely.
ex-wife and his kid because they're hilarious. Right? Trish
Yes.
and Trevor. They're funny. Brendan's kind of hacky and kind of
You know,
like played out, but Trish and Trevor are
Just to
fucking
get both
funny.
sides
Like,
of the-
that's cutting edge comedy to me.
Get both
That's just
sides
my
of the
style.
story. Get them all.
I'm just saying.
And you might be. But at Brendan Walsh, one of the most prolific Twitterers out there. So
You're heading out that way. Los
You
Angeles.
want me to tell him something?
No. I was just seeing what your plan is. Have 47 going to LA.
I hope to make
retired.
it there by 48. Yeah, we're the same age, and you've retired, and I'm starting. So, probably good luck for me. I mean, it's probably right. I mean, it feels right. I mean, how hard could it be? That's my feeling. How hard could it be?
The thing is,
It's just words.
Look at the morons
just
doing
words.
it, right?
Hey, dude, they're everywhere. Brendan Walsh, for instance.
I see. You'd have an advantage over me going back to LA because I know nothing about how it works, but I know how it used to work. That's different. So you're going in fresh.
Well, first of all, here's the
gigs
whole deal, dude. I had this whole plan. It was called Operation Stanhope Coattails. And I got here,
What a
and
hack.
it
That's
turns
been
out there's no Super Bowl party, and
Yes.
you're retired. So
and the minute you showed up,
now we have to go to Los Angeles, apparently.
the minute you showed up, he left.
Yeah, gone. Australia. Other side of
Welcome.
the earth. As far as you can get away without taking a spaceship. That's where he went when I came here after 10 years of being invited. So, yeah, I guess now we go on to LA to see who hates me there.
Actually, you're
I'm
right.
sure there's a whole list.
Well, no, it's going to fall in the ocean when you get there, isn't it?
I'll get there. There'll be a sign that says, "Too late, dummy. Should have been here 2 months ago."
I would have no idea. I go back there. I don't know how, who the people are. We were talking about that.
What are you talking about?
No, listening
like
to the
trying to break in.
What the fuck when Chris Rock talking about all the comedians that are in his movie. I knew almost none of them. I don't know the people on Last Comic Standing. I don't know anyone anymore.
No, we watched this season. You knew DC Benny?
No, I didn't know
You predicted the joke he was going to tell at the final.
That doesn't
That's
have
just
anything
based
to do
on
with
years of
That
experience.
means you know
you
him.
look like on stage.
No, I knew like Jimmy Schubert. There's a couple
Yeah.
people, but generally the old seasons, I'd know most of the people, and now I know nobody. I didn't know all the names they were dropping in the Chris Rock movie. Oh, she was fantastic, and
They were like going like over the moon on some of these actresses / comics, because most of them are comics. If you've seen the trailers for this top 5, and I don't know him, but you didn't even know him.
I have no
Mark
idea.
Maron is talking about him, so they were in New York or L.A. I mean,
Well, Erickson's, you probably know more
I probably
people.
know him. I mean, I've been in Peoria
yeah.
for 15 years, so
Well,
I probably
you've
know
been-
them all.
You've been in a comedy club where there's rotating people.
I actually see people,
We see the same people as each
but
other.
I only see the people Peoria can book.
well, Andy Kindler was just there,
Andy Kindler was just there.
so that means someone who made money the week before.
Is
was
he in
there.
that movie?
No,
Well, then there you go.
Erickson, you're so just almost
What?
making it.
I know. I'm just about
You
at the cusp, dude.
if you just were here the night before,
Should have been here. Should have hung out,
Shoulda
dude.
hung
It's
out,
a Dave
dude.
Attell joke.
Shoulda
Spice
hung
Girls
out.
were just here. Should have hung out, man. Yeah.
Scary Spice sucked everyone's
Yeah.
dick.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm here to just clean up the garbage after everyone's done partying.
Yeah, like a Fish concert.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't get to watch the show or do
Yeah.
the drugs. You
Wouldn't that
get
have
to
been
like
great?
scrape up all the garbage.
Yeah.
Shit,
just
write
like-
down. I gotta call a tell.
We can do it on the air.
No,
Actually, we can't.
No, not
we
Dave
can't.
Attell, just Tom Attell.
I guess that's the end of the podcast. I
It's
think
not.
that. What?
It's
Oh,
not.
wait.
Wait, we
Oh,
got
you
plugs.
weren't going to talk about?
Do you guys want to? You got plugs?
Hey, I'm going to be at Belushi's in Fort Myers, Florida in January.
Really?
Yeah. I don't just fucking hang out
Well,
here.
when?
like a dick. The 15th through the 17th of January.
All right.
And at Coconuts on the 14th of January with Danny Bevins, who's very funny.
Hold on a
I
second.
love Danny Bevins.
When's the Super Bowl?
First week of February, like February 2nd or
Is it the
something.
week after? You're
No, this is
No, no.
January, which is the
No,
month
he's gonna
before
miss.
February.
He's gonna
He
miss the
doesn't-
fucking championships. No, they're on Sunday, the 18th, January 18th. You'll probably be in the air.
I'll be at the Thunderbird.
That was
super.
now we.
You should fly to the Thunderbird and hang
That's
out
what I was
there.
gonna say. We might crash your gig at.
That's not going to happen. We're probably
Belushi's.
going to go to the Caribbean somewhere. So
No, not
one-
for. No, I'm not talking Super Bowl. I'm talking about
Hey,
for his
Doug,
gig.
if you want, at Belushi's, I could probably get you a guest set if you want to pop
Oh,
out and do some time.
I've done that.
3 to
with
5.
actually-
Don't burn the light.
remember when we?
Who's this asshole in the linen suit?
remember?
Hey, Mr. Custard's got to go. This is a closed back.
Chaley, do you remember when we crashed and surprised Dave Attell and Sean Rouse
Oh
at the
my
Houston
God,
Improv?
yeah.
I said, listen, I'm going to go up as the host because
They
Attell
don't know who
and,
you are.
Attell and Rouse didn't know I was there, and I went up.
So they didn't even know you were there.
He brought
They
him
didn't-
on.
I went to bring him, introduce the show, and fucking nobody in the audience knew who I was. And I was doing all cornball, like, all right, some people are gonna know. Nobody knew, and I was goofing, making stupid announcements and shit. And yeah,
No, you went up.
They
and
stared
sold
at me.
out crowd, and he's like, it's like a Disney-esque like planned that area. It's Improv.
The Improv, yeah,
But-
they're
but
all
like
the same.
whole area. It's like
Adult
it's,
destination mall.
yes. And he goes up there and fucking, it's horrible.
So
and,
you introduced
and
Rouse.
Blank stares. Did I do the goofy thing? Or
Who's the guy that opened that was the host? Because you did a podcast with him afterwards.
oh, Mungle?
No. It was they were doing a podcast with Attell.
Oh, is it that guy that
Yeah.
had the backstage pass? Remember him? I go, why do you have a backstage pass for your own podcast? He goes, because people give me less shit when I try to talk to the comics. He had his own backstage
He
pass.
made it up.
Yes.
That's the
He
best
printed
move
one.
ever.
He-
That's the
you
best
walk
move ever.
you walk with purpose.
All right. You have a sponsor. this-
Stanhope Celebrity Death Pool.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
See,
Jesus.
It's not over yet.
I have 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks to get your fucking death pool picks in, and I've done no research. Again, on my list of things
Haven't
to
either.
do in retirement.
Just put Ed Asner on there. You know he's going down one of these.
It doesn't matter. He's too old.
We got fucking. I got crushed this year. I don't
Me
know
too.
what.
Me too.
I'm nowhere.
who's in the
I took Eric the midget off my list in a trade round the month before he died.
So who's
you
in
want
the
to
lead?
talk about being disheartened for the whole fucking season?
Who's in the lead right now? Do you know?
Melissa Holden again just blew everybody
She is
away.
so far ahead that even we made the last call bonus. If someone dies on December 31st, you get 100
Nobody can
bonus
catch
points. Even with that, she's so far
She'd
in
still
the lead.
win.
She's fucking crushing. So yeah,
Next year we better.
yeah, get your shit together. Start doing some research for Celebrity Death Pool, and the new website is up. We got T-shirts. Fucking Jim Ether and Jordan Gum. Their artwork is so fucking good that I just sell T-shirts just because and posters. I don't know, but maybe we'll get some posters leftovers out there, tour posters. And we renamed tours just so I can get new posters because their artwork is so fucking good. Jim Ether, Jordan Gum, they're not a partnership like Bernie Taupin and Elton John. They're separate guys. But so yeah,
They are gay, but they're separate.
they're wicked gay. How else would I have met them? You think I go to museums? No, I meet people in bathhouses. And we body paint, and I go, wow, you're a natural at this.
I was cleaning out the crawl space while you were gone, and I found a lot of one-offs.
And
I got one-off T-shirts that people gave you, like the guy in Canada who gave you the shirt of like you cutting into a baby.
Oh, that was.
There's one of those.
Yeah,
and we're gonna sell that.
We'll sell that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We'll wait till the next eBay yard sale because
That's coming up. Yeah.
That baby cutting that has a story to it because that was the fucking day after the night we did
the
acid
Johnny Depp?
because the fucking first phone call from Johnny Depp and we're like, we got to do acid now.
That seems like a logical response
Well,
to a phone
before-
call from Johnny
There's a
Depp.
long story.
Before that, someone gave us acid.
Yeah.
Also, before that, someone gave us acid.
So leading up to that was just a long period of looking for an excuse to do
also,
acid.
Selena Gomez could have called that night. Well, I guess we do acid.
If someone gave us a box of chocolate bars, that night would have been.
That's the
No,
reason.
this is the night we eat a box of chocolate.
This was right when my last special was coming out, and I had to go to Canada, and I had dick for new material, and I was in such a panic state. And the second night, that's when fucking we get the call from Hennigan. Johnny Depp is going to be contacting you for some unknown reason. So I'm trying to write fucking new material this whole time, waiting for this phone call that I have no idea why it's going to happen. And I'm trying to be professional and write material, and we're given every fucking night someone's trying to give us hallucinogens, and I go, I can't pile that. I can't do that on a regular run when I know my shit.
Right.
Yeah, so I get all this shit going on, and there was one moment where Chaley and I were on a plane going to like Calgary or something.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
We're both sitting there in our stupid suits and wearing reading glasses. I'm reading The Economist. He's reading Bloomberg Business Weekly. And I said to him, I still have a picture.
Leaned back, legs crossed.
I remembered we had one night off like in Victoria where we could do drugs because we'd been turning down all these hallucinogens, trying to be professional to get this new set together, and fucking constantly waiting for this fucking call from behind the magic curtain of why does Johnny Depp want to talk to me? And I said, listen, I actually had him schedule in hallucinogens on that one night coming up because
in
we
my
should
flip
really
book.
do hallucinogens. And we look at each other with fucking old men in reading glasses
Sitting across the aisle
on
from each
Air
other.
Canada.
Remember when
Scheduling
India...
hallucinogens for an upcoming. We have a break in the schedule. We should pencil in.
Pencil-ins.
Remember in part one when Chad and I were talking about how maybe you've lost touch with the common man? Pencil me in for a hallucinogen, Jeeves.
Not a heavy
Chap
trip.
and I can shroom on Tuesday.
Well, these guys.
So true.
These guys had called because we talked about like, anyone with a weird story to do podcasts. This is probably when we stopped doing this.
Yeah, this was the reason we stopped.
Siri,
doing it.
remind me to drop acid on Thursday.
No one has this life, man.
You're double booked with a shot of
Reading The
Jägermeister.
Economist.
So these guys had contacted us saying that a girl they went to high school with had like
Killed someone.
her own child and like ate a
yeah.
baby or something.
Killed her
She ate her own baby.
Killed her
class
own
is a
infant
trip.
and then
Nice.
ate it.
And we did due diligence and we found
Wow.
found the story on Google. But the guys like this is after.
Whoa. We totally set up like them coming down the day after doing acid to like them come down, and we were gonna do a whole production of like clear this area. We need to do a podcast.
In the venue. We were doing 2 nights at this Ramada Inn sports
It
bar.
was downstairs. It was
downstairs.
a regular.
And so we had them section off apart. I think they were at the show the night before, and I said don't say anything till tomorrow. Because I don't want to know the story. Like I want you to
Great
tell
story.
me the story. Well, it's a great story that they knew as much about as we did from a Google search.
Wikipedia would yield more.
Remember, Chaley and I had,
Without the ability to punch it up like a comic.
after the first show, that's the day Johnny Depp finally called and he says, "I have this idea and I thought of you." And I go, "I'm standing."
Was he want to commit suicide?
I said, I'm standing in the range trying to smoke a cigarette.
Holding the phone so I
Yeah,
could hear.
yeah.
And I'm like, he sounds like Hedberg.
It does. He sounds a lot like Edberg. And I said, I'm standing in a Ramada parking lot out of the rain trying to smoke a cigarette, about to play to 200 people in a sports bar. I'm not going to say no. And then there's a pause. And then the laugh. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Thank God.
So that night we were very giddy. So we get done the show and he did mushrooms and I did acid. We tripped our balls off like children in the parking garage underneath the place with one sober sitter bartender that stayed afterwards and stayed. We were up till 4:30 in the morning. And
In a parking garage.
in a
right
parking
next
garage.
to like the intake fan, which was like really creepy because it would turn on and then she goes, I gotta walk home. And you and I are so fucked up. It's like, all right, see ya. Just let her fucking go. Well, you know the neighborhood better than us. We don't know where we're at.
the next morning, Chaley sets up this whole podcast in
No,
the venue.
hold on a second. Before the podcast, you had gotten up and you made friends with people at breakfast, like families. You were taking pictures with them
Well, I hung out with the staff because they weren't selling
to get cigarettes.
They did all the staff hung out back smoking cigarettes,
And
and there was a liquor store attached to the place, but it didn't open till 8 a.m. So I'm just sitting out there, and I'm like, I'll buy you packs as soon as it opens. And I'm just sitting out there with all these fat
you went-
immigrants, and
You went into the restaurant,
Fimmigrants,
which
I
very
call
good, very. You went into that's good food at that restaurant. You went in there, and I only know you did this because later you were telling me about the families that you took pictures with. I'm like, you did what? You were still fucking high, and like bumming smokes from the kitchen staff, and then coming in and doing fucking photos with families sitting down to Sunday
Having their
breakfast.
Easter breakfast.
Yes. What the fuck? And you told me
it
I
was a Saturday,
yeah.
I'm sure.
And then we went up and got the hair.
You mean the real Sabbath?
Then we went up and got the
Saturday.
haircuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Am I going over?
I'm just getting
territory
to the
you've already
point. Yeah, no, I'm just getting to the point.
All right.
I don't want to fucking dep this one up. That was
done? We'll save the haircut adventure.
yeah, the Congo shower cap.
Congo shower cab.
I'll read all those texts someday. Oh, that's another thing we're gonna do is the Marilyn Manson podcast. That was 4 hours of unusable tape. I told Chaley we have to chop up and just make a fucking blooper reel out of. There's no way to edit it together, but I'm going to chop it up into pieces and to show you examples of why it will never be a podcast.
So you talked to Marilyn Manson for 4 hours.
Oh no,
We were
It was longer
there
than
all
that.
night, but we did 4 hours of tape.
Right.
They
is-
None of it's usable.
Oh no!
they said
So it's like all of his music.
The point of the whole story with
Oh.
the baby girl that ate the baby, these guys knew her and they want to do the podcast. And I go, oh, this story checks out. This is after we've come off this horrific acid mushroom trip. And like, I got to stay awake to do this thing because they're going to be here at noon, and I'm in no condition to do a podcast. But I go, the story sells itself. The girl had a baby and then killed it and ate it. You can pretty much carry this. No, they couldn't. Turns
Not at all.
out they just happened to like go to fourth grade with her. So they
it wasn't
knew
them.
her at one point, but they weren't around they knew nothing other than, and they're just Beavis and Butthead and going, yeah, we went to school with her. And I'm like, you gotta fuck. You gotta give me more than nothing. And I have some shortly, and I go, I'm too fucked up to do this. Sorry, guys. Like, you got nothing.
I asked him to turn the fucking TVs down in a sports bar so we could get this fucking riveting. This fucking, are you kidding? We're going to get the real truth here. Are you? And they're like, they knew her in 4th or 5th grade.
I think she moved to Seattle.
That's the same
No, I
thing.
never-
that was their
Getting
bail.
the TVs turned down is the same thing Chris Hansen does before he goes in and does a bust on the pedophile show. So
Well,
that is the right
but
move,
they-
No, we
Shaylee.
did it right.
That is the right
we
move.
did it right.
You did the right thing.
They did have a baby doll and a plate of spaghetti as a prop, so they could get a picture of me with a fork and knife.
Like a maniac.
But they sent me that. So anyway, evidently Chaley's selling that as well as posters and T-shirts and DVDs and CDs. I get those fucking things out of my crawl space.
This
They're
is my goal.
antiquated. They're fucking 8-track tapes. I'll sign the things maybe if I'm home and you request it, but I'm not guaranteeing it. Let's get this shit out of my crawl space. I
Doug-
don't know what I have left.
Doug, this is the problem. I went down there and I'm checking our inventories and I'm bringing it all over here to the suicide house. And I'm realizing, Deadbeat Hero, can we get any more of that? Because I've only got a couple more boxes left. What the fuck? What
I
are we
want
going to do?
everything out of my crawl space.
Listen, this just went online, and I just fudged the numbers because I didn't want to count how many boxes. Because you had
This is
all
how
this, all
Enron
this-
got started.
This is you had all these other boxes, and I just assumed we had
All
plenty
right,
of Deadbeat Hero.
stop.
Blowing the whole
The
thing.
point is,
Going home.
yes, we like to sell shit on the road,
We walked Chad Shank.
but no one. But yeah, you want a thing that I signed? No, you don't want to get a CD or a DVD now on the website at the merch page because I don't want to fucking produce them or carry them around anymore. If I have to sell merch at a show, it'll be something else that you fucking need, like a T-shirt, because you the one you're wearing is filthy and you smell poorly. So get a new T-shirt or a poster, or we'll start selling pickled eggs, or I don't know. But I want that get that shit out of my fucking crawl space. I don't have a sponsor. I'm sponsored by what's left of those CDs and DVDs in my crawl space. Buy them. Follow HD Fatty, but don't annoy him with too many day drunk versus questions. Because
Actually, we're sponsored by Modern Drunkard.
Modern Drunkard,
Drunkard.com.
Black Mirror on Netflix, the Chris Rock movie, Top 5. Go out and see that. But leave for the last 90 seconds
So
to
you don't
make
see
up for the time I would have been
It's
in
got
there.
84 of the funniest comedians you've ever seen in your life.
Don't wait after the credits to see if you see Doug because he's not there.
And I guess that's it. It's another time to play the Matoid.
Party time. Party time. Party time. Party time. Drink your drinks and eat your eats. It's party time. Laugh your laughs and eat your eats. It's party time. Smile your smiles and blue your blues. It's party time. Yeah. party time, party time, party time, party time. Hey!